We're live, we're live, we're live, we're live, we're live. Hey everyone, coming to the room, coming to the room, coming to the room. It is your favorite former shy girl, Nicki D the poet, and I just came on and hopped on real quick just to share a message with you because it has come to my attention that it is National Self-Care Day. So I just want to come with a little message about self-love because while taking care of ourselves is good, the mani and petties, um, the meditation, the glass of wine, all the facials, all that is good. But we want to not only work on our outer beauty, but work on the inside because that's what self care and self love is really about. Now, for those who know me, those who don't know me, I've been sick with the pen since the age of 10. But wait, isn't it that Davis girl? You know, the one who can't sing? Get you right, but put me in front of Mike on the right night and I can tell you why the cage bird sings. Yeah, I must admit, singing's not really my twist. I leave that up to Kite and my sis, and as for me, I'd rather do the poet thing. A poet, one who's well versed in the English language. A poet, one who could take simplistic words and phrases and make them reach into the deepest places. Yes, the very same ones that you try to hide. A poet, a mouthpiece, a crier of the generational cry, because I'm sick and tired of seeing my young queens being reduced to the plumpiness of their tits, the juiciness of their ass, and what is in between their thighs. And for far too long, my young kings have been reduced to their ability to dribble a ball and rap a rhyme like, why is it so much easier for someone to instill in them that they have to chase a bag, even if it means die? Excuse me. For someone to instill in them that they have to chase a bag, even if it means die. For someone to sit them down and explain the amount of tree that goes in a quarter or a dime, then for someone to sit down and cultivate that young entrepreneur mind. I don't know if you guys know this, but this world is in such a chaotic state. We have murders on top of murders, this virus that's sweeping the land. We have little girls and little boys who think their whole life is a mistake, that the world would be a better place if they didn't exist. And please, don't even get me started on that matter-day circus we call politics. Excuse me, please. Excuse me. Please, don't even get me started on that modern-day circus we call politics. You see, this is why I spent every poet, every author, every business owner, every social media influencer understanding my voice have a choice, and I choose myself with. So sit back and enjoy the poetic silence. I'm Nicki D the poet. Like I said, it came to my attention that today is National Self-Care Day, and it's really important. I feel as though it's really important that while we're taking care of ourselves, and doing a lot of things to enhance our outer beauty, that we take a step back and really take a look and do some work for our inner beauty, the inner man, some inner self-love on today, National Self-Care Day. So I just wanted to come on here and remind everyone that you are enough. This is for the girl in grade school with tears in her eyes because her mama wouldn't let her get the press and curl. You see, she wasn't aware of the dangers of heat damage. All she knew is she wanted to be like the other girls. At the age of 10, here to defies gravity and take curls that resemble wool just isn't cool, but starting the trend of making her believe that she had to straighten her roots in order to appease society wasn't something that her mother was willing to do. She said, baby girl, don't you know your hair is a jewel? Each strand, each follicles is a representation of how far we came. The elasticity in curls, well, that symbolizes how we snap back from every harm they try to put in our way. Baby girl, don't you know that you're a queen? You don't need no hair relaxer, no flat iron, no weave for anyone to see the beauty that's already inside of you. And in case you haven't heard it in a while, just in case you forgot, You are enough. This is for a girl who's never been kissed, who lay awake at night, tortured with the thought of whether or not she will be asked to the high school dance. She thinks, maybe if I lift up my skirt, bend over and show everybody I could twerk, I would finally have a chance. Because at least then I'll finally get a man. And that right there, that would give me purpose. But I've been single for a while. What's wrong with me? And I'm too flawed, too bald, too ugly. Why can't I fit in? I try and try and try. I try and try and try. I try and try and try, but I just stick out like a sore thumb. Maybe it's time to end it all. Because after all, I'm the girl who's easy to forget. Her mother sees her with tears in her eyes. Her mother goes up to her, lift her head up and say, baby girl, why do you walk around with a permanent frown? You walk around with your eyes glued to the ground as if you have nothing left to give. Do me a favor. Put your hand on your chest. You feel that? That's a breath. That means you still have purpose. Baby girl, don't you know that you're a queen? Price far above any ruby, above any dime. You were put on this earth for a greater purpose. You're not just a trophy to appease man's eyes, but inside of you, it's a gift that the whole world needs to hear. And just in case you haven't heard it in a while, just in case you forgot, just in case you needed a little friendly reminder that this still rings true, you are enough. And I really wrote that piece for one myself, because if you guys read any of my books, in particular, my book Naked Facing the Girl in the Mirror, you know that my biggest insecurity growing up was feeling like I never fit in, feeling like I was never enough for a particular crowd, feeling as though like my voice didn't matter. Just feeling as though like my flaws hinder me from my purpose, my flaws hinder anybody from really hearing my message. But I just want to let you know on this National Self-Care Day that while you're doing everything, while you're taking the time out to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, that you're enough, flaws and all. She was told to sit up, lace closed, to only speak unless she was spoken to. And even then, she was given a list of sayings and phrases and what she needed to use. Poor little girl, always so confused, always stuck in the middle, trying to fill someone else's shoes. But she was never told that she was pretty because she was 2 shades too black. She was never told that she was pretty because she was 2 sizes too fat. She was never told that she was pretty because, truth be told, she was a little bold lady that resembled a duck when she walked. She was never told that she was pretty because she had a list that got in her way when she talked. Poor little girl. All she wanted to do was fit in. She expected adversity from the outside, but she thought that surely she could find some commodity with those of the same skin. But she was too holy for the sinners. Yet not quite holy enough for the saints. She wanted to wish for death, but she was taught not to tempt fate. So alone, struggling to find her place, she stares at her image, marking figments of her imagination of what it's truly like to be beautiful. Muff atop the last of waistband she stands, gripping the gut she tucks inside her girdle for gym class. Jumping rope was always a challenge. 1, 2, 3, her tears of sweat making waves on her skin. She considers herself a lesbian, dating little Debbies and Betty Crockers, finding comfort in a creamy and tragic reality. Reality that different from hers, where one trait is similar to freedom for the next we strand, systematically playing the fiddle, the pipe that the piper strung. She became a puppet. Trapped in a vice of aesthetics, caught in a rim of appeal, within a pluck, cut, and tuck. Anything to feel like those girls on the magazines. You know, the ones with the triple digit likes on IG that has been filtered, cropped, and photoshopped, so even they are not as beautiful as they seem. You see, If out of time is a double playground, then comparison is a tour guide making sure you have one hell of a time. I mean, there's a whole industry out there profiting off of your insecurities and mine. Short hair, get a weave. Blemished face, oh honey, you can cover that up with some Maybelline. Chubby waist, well, this is contraction, and if you wear it for 8 hours a day, even though it constricts your breath, it will leave your waist snatched. And if I see one more ad on IG for flat tummy tea, I am going to snap. You see, this unrealistic standard of beauty has to stop. After all, beauty is far more than skin deep. And we're all handcrafted and designed by God, who stamped everything is beautifully and wonderfully made. So me, illuminating my beauty, will never cause yours to fade. More of the story, we all have some beauty. It just takes some of us longer to find it. But the next time you find yourself in the mirror magnifying your flaws, remember, that's the way the Almighty God designed it. And that's when we have to constantly tell ourselves that we are enough, that our flaws does not, what society see as flaws is a beauty enhancements. Everyone is made uniquely and different. Like my shirt says right here, broken crayon still color. And when you look in a crayon box, every color is not the same. So if we look in a crayon box, and when we go to use crayons, and when we go to mix these colors and paint these pictures or color these pictures, it is the uniqueness of the different colors that creates a beautiful picture. So if everybody was cut from the same cloth, if everybody was shaped the same way, if everybody's hairstyle was the same, if everybody's nail was the same, then it will make one dull picture. So it is in our beauty that is our unique and creates the beautiful pictures of the world. So don't never let someone make you feel as though being different is bad, that being different is bad, that being different means you have to hide what makes you different and what makes you unique, because it's that thing that makes you different and makes you unique is what's going to help you stand out. And I said, me as being the former shy girl, because for so long, I just thought that my story was not unique enough, that my story, no one would be able to hear me because I understand me, because I have a speech impediment. I have squeakiness to my voice. I'm not what some people see as the center of beauty, but I realized that it's someone. My audience need me just the way I am. My audience need this authentic voice. My audience need to know about my journey, and not just the ugliness of her, and not just the pretty part. They need the nitty gritty. They need the ugly. For so long, I would only get on live when I'm feeling great, and my audience, and when I'm feeling great, and when everything is good. But when my world was crashing down, I didn't want to get on live. I wanted to hide away from the world. But you guys need to see that realness. You need to see that even though I wrote these books about self-love and I'm going through the self-love journey, that there are still some stuff that I struggle with. It's still some days that I struggle with low self-esteem. It's still some days where I find it hard to get out of bed, and that's okay. And that's the beauty of thing. That's the beauty of the journey. The journey is something that's becoming. The journey is something that's continuous. It's not this I arrived moment, so I'm never going to feel like that. But it's like when those thoughts come to my head, when I have those feelings, when I'm low, I know where I came from. And that's the beauty of my books, because they're not only for you guys, and anybody who write book or write poetry can tell you that before I write on something, I have to go through it first. Like before I can bring something to you guys with conviction, and for you guys to feel it, if I haven't processed it in my heart, if I don't feel it, then you guys would feel it. So even like I told you, I spoke about these last couple months really being, rough for me with some of the health issues that I was having, and, this whole process to getting surgery that I'm going through right now. This weight gain that doesn't really seem to be trying to go anywhere, despite what I'm having, that sometimes, these last couple months it was low, and I really thank God for my books. Not just to hype them up for you to buy them, but they are on sale for $10 from now until the end of July. But literally, my book Naked, Facing the Girl in the Mirror, and seeing how I had so many insecurities I had to overcome, and how I had to take a look at myself in that mirror, right? Because we claim every year is our year, but we continually repeating this cycle, even this like the cycle of the seasonal depression. Like, you have to really learn to like speak over yourself, to speak to your voice in head. And for years, I've been trying to silence these voices in my head, but she's like a record that's stuck on repeating. Even when I can't quite make out the words of the melody, my feet so march to the rhythm of the sound clouds that send sound waves to my head that have already been pathetically trained to view every message the same way. Like, back when they told my great great granddaddy that he'll never be nothing more than a cotton picking slave. I'm sorry. That was a little heavy. But you see, it's hard to get her to behave like a Tyler used to get in her way. She kicks and screams. She made quite a scene. Only complete surrender to her demands is my attempt at relief. She loves to flirt with my insecurities. She has 3 ways with my worries and my fear. And when she reaches her peak, she leaves her liquid gooiness all over my face for all to see. She get a kick out of making a mockery of me. Like Siamese twins, we're conjoined. But some days I really wish she would just stay at home. Like, I really could have adored my first kiss alone without her reminding me of my obtuse shaped nose, or the tiny cylinders that decided to inhabit my face the night before, or the little fuzz under my chin. But yet and still, my therapist says that she's supposed to be my friend, my guardian, my protector. Because Nicole, the world can seem so cruel. To that I replied, well, my fellow black girl, how would it feel if you had someone constantly trying to drain the magic out of you? Like, don't act like if you weren't me, you wouldn't want her long gone too. She's the monkey that's on my back, the elephant overcaught in my room, the snake that's in my garden trying to get me to believe that everything I know to be true is a lie. Dangling in my face, death in a fruit disguise. Yet and still, time after time after time, I believe her lies. Maybe it's because her voice is perfect replica of mine. Or maybe it's because believing that failure is the only option is far more easier than admitting I'm scared to take the first leap. Or maybe it's because the fault really isn't in her at all, but it's really within me. Because after all, she's nothing but a mere personification of what I see staring back at me when I look in the mirror. And when I finally get the courage to not only face, but defeat that girl, well, her voice would no longer matter. And we really have to realize that we really have power to defeat whatever voices in our head, because the thing about words is scripture says that the power in life is death is in the tongue. And we create these people in our head that's telling us that we're not enough, that's telling us no one cares, that's telling us that the world would be a better place without us. God, in his divine plan, before he formed any of us, while he was forming us in our mother's womb, he had a calling that was placed on our life. And God knows that, but the enemy also knows that as well. So the enemy really attacks the mind, because the mind controls the whole body. So he knows, if I can get this person to think that they're not enough, if I can get this person to think that they're useless, if I can get this person to think that they can't do something, as the mind's thinking, so is he. So if I'm thinking all these negative thoughts in my head, I'm going to act like I'm worthless. I'm gonna act like I can never do nothing right. I'm gonna act like I'm a victim, and not a victor. When we all know that through Christ we can do anything but fail. So we all know that we all already have this strategy for success. We all know that we have this strategy, and we're already set up to be victorious. But it's getting over these voices in our head that we give power to, the voices in our head that we create ourselves, and not give a room. Like not give a room for anything but positivity. And what I learned while I was going through my go through, while life was life in, is that I have that power. I have that power to dwell in that negative space and allow it to overtake me. Or I also have that power to say, listen, I'm more than a conqueror to this. I have that power to say, listen, I know it may not look like it, but all things work together for my good. I know that there's a bigger part to the story than how I'm feeling right now. I know my story is bigger than my depression. I know my story is bigger than my anxiety. I know my story is bigger than what my bank accounts look like right now. I know my story is bigger than all the no's that I heard. I know my story is bigger than the people who say I can't do it. I know my story is bigger than my failures. I know my story is bigger than what I'm facing right now. I know that God has set something up for me that I can't even comprehend. I know my story is bigger than this heartbreak that I'm experiencing right now. And I know in the end I'm set up for success. I know in the end that if I continue to live in my purpose, if I continue to put God first, if I continue to put in the work, and I continue to have faith, and I know a lot of people, they just want to faith it, right? But at the end of the day, the Bible says faith without works is dead. So you can have all the faith in the world. I can have faith that I'm going to get the job, but if I never take that step to fill out the job application, then that job will never come to me. Nothing is ever going to fall in your lap. So with faith, you have to put in that work. So you know, if you put in that, if you have faith and you put in that work, that's it. Just a donezo. Like, that's the recipe for success. And that's all I want to get on here and say, with the self-care day, making sure you're taking care of yourself. And that's very important. And I learned the importance, thank God to my boyfriend, the importance of taking care of yourself and taking a step back, because I know a lot of people been DMing me about coming to their shows, and unfortunately I had to tell them right now I'm taking myself back. I'm taking the time back just to take care of myself, because while I love pouring into you guys, sometimes I have to pour into me, and it's okay to be selfish. It's not, and I thought for a while, even with like taking this little hiatus and not really performing, I'm like, people gonna forget all about me. People ain't gonna really care who Nicki D is anymore. But it's like, I can't if you guys read my book or see my performances, I really put my all into it, and I have to make sure that I am around people that's replenishing that. I have to make sure to take the steps to replenishing that, because you cannot count on anybody else to make you happy. And a lot of people say, be like, oh, is your boyfriend making you happy? I feel as though like we're both constantly working on ourselves. We're both constantly working on ourselves and making self happiness, and that's why our relationship is what it is, because we're not relying on each other for happiness. Because I would never want to put my happiness in the hands of somebody, because if you can make me happy, you can make me sad, you can make me miserable, you can make me depressed. And I remember like 2 years ago, I put that on somebody, and it came crashing down. Well, I put my all on somebody, and it came crashing down. So I never want to give somebody that much power over me, and much power over me ever again. So I know that my happiness is like solely depending on me, and it's okay to take that step back. And I want to encourage, and I want to say that to entrepreneurs or small business owners who feel as though they have to, and content creators who feel content creators and creators who feel the need to always be pushing out content, and they can never take that step back. It is okay to take that step back. Your audience is still going to be there. The work that you have will sustain them, because y'all know I already have poetry for days. I have poetry videos for days, and this is the beauty of bulking up on content and not releasing everything, because when you have to take that step back, you can still go there are apps that you can go to that can be posting on social media for you while you take that time. And I encourage everyone to take that time and to enjoy life. And it's not always like, oh, I need to take a hiatus or I need to take a break because I feel bad. No, like you can take a break to just be enjoying life, because sometimes when you're always trying to meet deadlines or you're always curating shows, it can become a lot, and life can literally be stressing you by. Don't get me wrong, I love doing it. Like, I love putting on a women empowerment event. I love hosting panels. I love putting on poetry shows, and I love performing. But I also have to live my life, because at the end of the day, I'm still 28 years old. I have to enjoy my relationship. I have to enjoy my man. I have to enjoy my family as well. And for people who follow these creatives, and y'all like, oh, when you're dropping your next book, when you're dropping your next piece, when you're dropping your next album, give these creatives space to be human and space to enjoy their life and enjoy the summer while putting out content, while getting stuff prepared for you guys, because this stuff does not come easy. We put our blood, sweat, and sweat and tears into our art, and sometimes we need some self-love and self-care time as well. Um, if you guys don't know, all of my books are currently on sale for $10 throughout the entire month of July as part of my birthday celebration. Yes, my birthday was July 7th, but it is still my birthday the entire month of July. So the entire month of July, you guys get all my books for $10. Paperback books is $10. Each ebooks is $5. And I'm also going to be giving away probably like 4 author talks, because I know the beginning of the year, a lot of you guys put become an author on your to-do list, and I'm here to help you. I'm actually hosting, if you guys haven't seen, the flyer dropped last night on August 11th at 7 p.m. I'm hosting a virtual book fair where 6 dynamic ladies I will sit down with 6 dynamic ladies, talking to them about their books, talking to them about their writing process, talking to them about why they decided to go with a publishing company versus self-publishing, because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about that. Like, should I self-publish? Should I go to a publishing company? The pros and cons and all that jazz. So we're definitely going to dive in. I'll be doing lives the entire month of August about the differences in self-publishing, as well as going through a publishing company, as well as giving you guys the opportunity to earn a free copy, to win a free copy of my ebook, The Shy Girl's Guide to Self-Publishing, so I can help you through that publishing. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to email me at Nicki D the Poet at nickidthepoet@gmail.com. Or you can feel free to schedule a consultation with me at nickidthepoet.com under the author talks. And follow me on all social media at Nicki D the Poet. I do have a lot of content, different content for you guys. We're gonna vlog. I'm gonna take you guys through a vlog, my entire weight loss journey to getting this surgery. A vlog with my day-to-day life. Maybe my boyfriend, show you guys, maybe do like a little boyfriend Q&A, we'll see. About show you the kids, just our daily life, as we prepare to move into a new space, a bigger house, just this journey of life. So feel free to follow me for poetry, self-love, motivation, single motherhood, blended families, because blended families, all that other jazz. Thank you guys so much. Join the National Shot Girl Gang. And until next time, peace and love.